Check. I think we're live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. We're live here from Patasco Bicycles on Black and Tan and DMV MTV. And today we're here with Mr. Donald and Paul. So I'll go here to my left.
What's up, everybody? I don't know what camera to look at.
You're the center.
It's the one with your picture on it.
I don't know what to do with my hands. What do I do with my hands?
You talk.
I think you should wipe off the cheesesteak from your lips.
Yeah, the cheesesteak. Trust me, there's none left. You're lucky I have a lip still, because that was delicious. Right. I had a delicious cheesesteak from Mamma Mia's restaurant. Let me tell you about it. I've been on this diet.
A cheesesteak diet?
Get closer to the mic.
Oh, do I really?
That's
mic test.
There you go.
Purple pickles. Okay, so I've been on this diet trying to lose weight. I started off in January. Towards the end of January, I weighed myself. I was 223 pounds, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna work. I need to do something. So I jumped on this diet after Andy Smith said that I was going to die.
He scared you.
He literally said I was going to die. Yeah. So I jumped on this diet, and from there, I lost down to I think I got down to around 200, bounced between 200 and 205. I kind of hit a plateau, and it was all, the motivation was after I said that something that made Paul want to race me up a hill.
Wow, that's like revisionist history.
I don't know what that means.
That's not how it went down at all.
No?
You and I were talking, and I said, look, I'm doing CrossFit, and I've got to gain some weight, and I'm trying to get to 190. And you said, hey, I'm trying to get down to 190. I bet you if we were the same weight, I could beat you up a hill. That's how it went down. That's how it went down.
I don't think I would ever say, I bet you I could beat you up a hill. I may have said we should race up a hill.
I think you're walking stuff back. I think you're walking stuff back.
And I don't want to have that selective memory, right?
But by the way, the race was supposed to be today, and I know
supposed to be today.
I know a lot of people was probably expecting some type of video.
We'll get there.
But we don't have it.
We don't have a video. It's my fault. It's my fault.
Yeah.
So
just like a prize fight, right? And you've been cutting weight, ready for the fight, and you realize the fight's off.
You ate a cheesesteak.
I ate a cheesesteak. And
you went from your plastic suit lying on the steam pipe to eating a cheesesteak.
As soon as they said the fight's over, the first thing I did was, I didn't, you dial your wife, you dial your loved ones and say, hey, I'm okay. I dialed Mamma Mia's immediately and said,
it's like comfort food.
I said, the race is over. He said, do you want your usual? I was like, I'm back, baby. So, Mamma Mia's
1,200 calories later.
Mamma Mia's cheesesteaks up.
With mayo? With mayo?
Oh, yeah, like how many calories you think that's on? Because I had one the other day. How many calories?
Listen.
It doesn't matter.
It's 1,200 calories.
Listen.
Is that what it is?
It's 1,200 calories.
Here's the deal. I treat food like I'm a millionaire, right? I don't look at the price tag. I just buy it, you know what I mean? I don't look at the calories, I just eat it. You know,
sound like you're doing a commercial right now.
But that's it. That's how you enjoy food. You can't enjoy food by counting calories and stuff like that. You gotta just do it. And something that's bothering me right now about this setup. This is a lovely setup, but I don't have any screens in front of me, and I don't know what people are saying.
Well, I do
that's probably a good thing because then you can't read.
Yeah,
them.
he gets distracted. But I do want to give a shout out to, we have people joining the live, and we have D Perks joining. We have Sendero. What up, y'all?
Can someone post, because I can't find it right now and I don't want to be too distracted, can someone post the amount of calories in a Mamma Mia cheesesteak with mayo?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not with mayo. It's with everything, baby. It's with everything. I literally tell him, I'm like, what do you have? And he goes, I have this, and I was like, yes.
I want everything.
I want it all.
I want it all.
I want it
double fried onions, double provolone. It's the only way you can get it, right? It's the only way you can get it.
Just don't even bother looking it up because it's more than 1,200
Yeah.
calories.
Deep Perk says it has 1587 calories, 1,500 calories.
With double provolone?
I don't know.
Double fried onions.
Double fried onions.
That's the way you got to
Let's
do it.
Let's explain why the race didn't happen.
Paul's truck. Paul's truck broke down.
False truck. dude.
Paul's truck broke down, but he's here right next to us.
So,
All right, no, it's true. Paul's truck broke down. He didn't know. We called the race actually yesterday because we just didn't know
Yeah.
what was going to happen.
it's still in the shop.
Yeah, we would want to be. What we wanted to do with the race was we wanted to kind of film it ahead of time and then come here on the live
Right.
and
Analyze the race.
talk about it and everything like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
we wanted to have several cameras, mics on me and Paul, and
We're still going to do it.
we're still going to do it 100%.
But I want to clarify, because there's some confusion. First of all, there's confusion on how it happened, and basically, it happened live, so we can go look at the feed and see how it happened.
We don't need to do that.
We do, because you said it was me, and it was not me. You
Yeah.
poked the bear. You poked the bear.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Okay.
It's
All right,
fine.
you're going to accept that you.
100%. 100%.
And the other question is, I'm supposed to get up to 190 or carry the weight. You're supposed to get down to 190. So if you're at 205, am I penalized because you haven't fulfilled your end of the bargain?
Yes.
I'm going to need a bigger backpack.
Listen, all right, and I'm gonna put out one of my secrets right now that I've been telling everybody. Right, I've been telling everybody. I'm like, the stress is not on me. It's all again. Paul Lavelli 100% is supposed to beat me in a hill climb.
That sounds like excuse though,
No excuse.
because
no excuse.
you're saying like, oh, I told you guys he was gonna beat me.
No. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my hardest to beat Paul. If I beat Paul in this race, whether he's carrying the weight, if we're the same weight and I beat Paul in this race, I shine. I'm
He thinks,
shining.
Elvis, he thinks I'm in a no-win scenario.
See, I'm just glad.
I really do think he's in a no-win scenario.
He says it doesn't matter if I win, I'm supposed to win.
Right.
If I don't win, then it's him, you know?
it's like Jake Paul boxing Mike Tyson.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You're
So
Mike,
what are you saying?
You're Mike Tyson.
It's Jake
I'm
Paul.
Jake Paul,
No,
right?
it's the other. It's
No,
the other way.
no, it's not. It's not.
I have no desire to taste your ear, just so we're clear.
That's thank you.
Okay.
But listen, it's like you're Mike Tyson and I'm Jake Paul, right? I come into the rink and I knock you out.
I can only imagine the comments now. Now the black guy is the white guy, and the
That's
white
what
guy
I.
is the black guy.
And that's where I was getting at.
I know it's confusing to some, but follow me. I'll speak slower. So I come into
What
ring.
episode are we on, by the way?
We're 37.
Nice, good job.
37.
Well done.
37, bro. This is 37 of every other week, man. That's we've been keeping this alive. And the cool part is I look at the analytics from YouTube and our channel is growing. It's growing a lot, right? So again, it's just from our audience being there and us putting out some pretty cool content outside of the podcast. Elvis has been kicking ass when it comes to like doing his bike stuff.
Yeah.
He's been doing so good that bike companies are giving him bikes to ride now so he can go out and film.
Yeah.
I told you he's in the building.
Yeah.
Elvis is in the building, man.
So we're going to go back to the Mike Tyson
Yeah, go
and,
ahead,
and
Jake.
Jake
Yeah,
Paul.
'cause
Go ahead,
I
Jake.
do want to point out that we are live today. Like this is present,
Yeah.
and we're not remote, so
No.
anything can go down here
Yes.
with
Anything.
Donald and
Anything.
Paul.
Yes,
So
yes.
So if Jake Paul goes into the rink and he gets beat by Mike Tyson, Mike doesn't look any better, right? He's supposed to beat Jake. He's never going to look any better than. As a matter of fact, the fact that he even took the fight makes him look bad. But if Jake goes in and not even wins, just puts up a good fight, Jake shines, right?
I think Jake's gonna die.
are you talking about?
I don't know.
Are you talking about?
I don't know, Elvis, but I think Jake's gonna die.
I'm confused on what
There's a lot of people.
conversation we're
there's a-
on right now.
There's a lot of people who are confused, and I'm telling you, the guy sitting in the center
So who do you
camera
think-
is the most confused.
Who do you think is going to win, Mike Tyson or Jake
Jake.
Paul?
Pay-per-view. Now we're really.
That's
now,
right.
Yeah, we got a
Who do you think's going to
pay-per-view.
win, Mike Tyson or Jake
Yeah.
Paul? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Bill said, love the live race.
Yeah. So yeah. Back. So now we're racing and we're riding and things like that. By the way, Paul came out Sunday. Elvis, you missed it. Our ride Sunday, our gravel ride Sunday. We did our
Ooh, I
same
missed that.
loop. Paul came out and tried to ride our legs completely off just to show us that he still has it. And
How did that go?
he rode our legs off.
Did you guys keep up? Or?
We kept up. We
Yeah.
kept up, but at the end, I think I didn't ride. So
were you
Sunday,
Paul? Were you a max effort, or you were just?
No, he probably wasn't maxed.
Wasn't maxed. But I can tell you, my form is down. There's no doubt about it. But I think I ran 270 normalized power for the ride. So
Yeah, I was
Which
like 260.
I think that's Ed Saul's FTP actually, and I probably did it at 132 heart rate. So
I did not do that.
what was your average heart rate? Do you know?
Oh shit! It wasn't good.
180. It was on red.
Bro, I was in red for 2 hours.
Pull it up on Strava. I'll let you do that. You can be that
I was in
distracted.
red. I was in red for 2 hours. I'm pretty sure.
He wanted to get there at 3:00 and do like a 43-mile ride.
No, it was 26. I knew it was.
We cut it
26
down
miles.
though. You had said we're going to do the full route, and I'm like, it's just not.
No,
Gonna
you
happen.
did ask me that, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if I knew we weren't going to do it. I knew that wasn't going to happen. You did ask me if we were going to do the full route.
It wasn't full tilt, but we did. So here.
No.
Let me
It
give.
was-
Can I give some context?
Yeah, for sure.
So when I took Donald out there last year, and we did our first ride to prep for the Appalachian Journey, we averaged 13.1 miles an hour. On last week, was it last week? Yeah, I guess it was last week. We averaged 16.1 miles an hour. So
So it was definitely a lot faster. So all right. So I want to give you a little bit of my heart
When
rate.
was this? The gravel ride?
this was the
Yeah.
gravel. This is the gravel ride from
For some-
Point of Rocks.
For some reason, it's not giving me.
The abbreviated version, which
Yeah.
actually is better, in my opinion, than the 43. Because on the abbreviated version that we did,
a lot more
we were
gravel.
90% gravel.
Yeah, it's a lot more gravel.
How many miles was it?
It's 26 miles with 2,300 feet of elevation.
This might be it.
Does it give us an average heart rate, Elvis? Because he suddenly can't find it.
No, I just have to go to a different. For some reason, my heart rate monitor wasn't working on that. But yeah, I got you right here. So my average heart rate was 157.
Wow.
My max heart rate was 179. So I max out at 180. Right. So my max heart rate was 179.
So you had a little bit left to give.
one beat. I had one beat left.
You had one.
That's it.
That's all you had left to give.
One beat. And just to show everybody, I don't know if you, that's bad when it's
Yeah,
it's all red.
it's all right.
So yeah, so I was in zone, whatever that zone is, that you don't want to be in that long. I was in that zone for that long.
Your anaerobic,
I didn't wanna-
anaerobic capacity
Yeah, I didn't
for
want to
2
be,
hours.
but I felt pretty good though. To be honest with you, I felt pretty good.
You averaged 16.1 miles an hour.
Well, you averaged 16.1. I averaged 15.8.
Okay.
So
I don't think I did a ton of waiting during the ride though. Something's.
no, I mean it could be anything.
Couple
I mean
years,
that's anything.
All right.
Right. I mean that's close. I mean we were getting it pretty good.
I think maybe your Specialized isn't as fast as my Specialized.
No, my Specialized is definitely faster than your Specialized.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
doing the tarmac, or are you doing?
Oh, okay, so I've been playing around with these gravel bikes a lot, right? Like playing around. So I took the World Cup and put gravel wheels and tires on. I actually put my gravel wheel set on my World Cup and took my World Cup out and rode my World Cup mountain bike on the gravel. It was fast.
Okay.
It was fast, really fast, but
Was it comfortable?
it is. I mean, it's.
How far did you go when you were?
I did the 26-mile loop, the same loop that I did. I pushed it pretty good. I averaged 13.
Okay. You missed me there, didn't you?
I did. When we went out that particular day, I was doing 90% of the work, so I was pulling and doing everything. So wasn't able to work with anybody to get the speed up. Not that would have mattered, I think, and I don't think I was in as good a shape then anyway. But either way, the World Cup on the gravel is fast for sure. I don't know I don't think it's faster than the Roubaix that I have. You have a Roubaix too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Roubaix is the fastest gravel bike that I've ever ridden.
But when you do the race with Paul, are you going to take the Roubaix or the tarmac?
Oh, I'm taking the tarmac.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a tarmac S-Works SL7 that I put some climbing wheels on. I'm running the SL7 with a set of Alpinist CLX wheels on it. So that's the lightest wheel set that Specialized makes.
Did you do that upgrade a few days ago, or?
Don't tell him. Don't you do that. Don't you let anybody.
Did you put ceramic bearings and ceramic bottom bracket
Bro.
and ceramic derailleur?
I'm going to run what I brung.
Tubeless and
I'm going to run.
And he's running tubeless?
I don't know.
I don't do tubeless on the road.
I'm just
That
trying to
scares
figure
me.
out
That
how
scares me.
Donald is trying to save weight. Oh wait, so okay, let me ask this.
He doesn't
When
have
you
to
guys-
save weight. He's making me go up to 250 pounds, I guess.
Right.
At that point.
There you go. That's what I try to explain people.
But can we do the bike the same weight though? So
No.
so everything is.
That's impossible. No, we can't do the bike the same weight. We have the same bikes, right? Don't you have an SL7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the same bikes, same
I
size,
don't
everything.
have the climbing wheel set, nor do I have ceramic bearings, apparently.
Yeah, yes.
I don't have the watts that you have, mister.
But you're saying
I don't
my
have the-
watts.
I don't have the
The
stamina.
reason this started is because you said my watts are disqualified because it's about my weight.
What I said was, here's what I'm hoping, all right? There's hopes and dreams, and you know about what they say about hopes and dreams, if you put them in one hand and this in the other.
Right.
Right? So, what I'm hoping is, and what I'm counting on is that I've been riding at this weight for a very long time, and I'm used to riding at this weight.
Oh, that's your theory.
Although you still have a higher FTP than me at a lower weight, I'm hoping that when you get to that weight, your body's like, what are you doing to me? I'm shutting down.
Got it.
I mean, we have to have some type of logic, and that's my logic. That's what I'm going on. A world without logic is what? Nothing.
Illogical.
Illogical, right? There's a word for it. It's called illogical. So that's where I'm.
You know what I love? You make shit up and you believe it.
Dude, if I say it enough times in the mirrh, it's got to come.
It makes sense. To you.
It makes
You make
sense.
shit up and I believe it.
It's got to make sense. So I've been following this YouTube channel that I thought was super, super cool. It's called The Bicycle Station. They do a lot of cool stuff. And
This is the guy who owns a bike shop, right?
I believe he owns a bike shop, and he does a lot of the same stuff that we do with really cool builds. They're really into gravel, and yeah, man, I've been following their stuff for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months actually. I'm sorry, and each episode that they do is getting better and better. And they're one of the people that once I did the World Cup, I started looking to see if anybody else had been playing with the World Cup on gravel. They took it one step further than I did. They actually built a drop bar World Cup bike, and they started racing it. guy won a race recently with it, and they swear it's super fast. And I agree with them. I don't know if maybe the difference between the way that I had mine set up with a flat bar and gravel tires. They've been riding theirs with like real mountain bike tires.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen right now so
Yeah.
people can see
Where I've been
the World Cup
Where-
that they did.
Yeah, where I've been riding my bike with, I actually took it and put like 42s on it and rode it with 42s and things like that. They actually kept the mountain bike tires, drop bars, aero bars. Yeah, so they've been doing some long races too.
That would make a great Tour Divide bike,
I think it would be.
if you could do it set that
I
up
think
with
it
a
would
drop
be.
bar and an arrow set.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultra long distance is where that bike would shine.
Geometry looks weird though. Let me share the screen so people
Yeah,
can see
let's
it.
see that one.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
I don't get to see the screen.
Thank
So-
goodness.
We did that on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No harm, no foul.
I'm just imagining right now
Yeah. You're imagining your World Cup as a drop bar bike?
as a drop bar bike
All right.
There you go.
It
with
could happen.
saddlebags and bags and stuff like
Do you want to do the Tour Divide?
that. I do not. I do not.
Yeah, I don't know if people can see it right now, but I'm sharing the screen and you can kind
I
of
would
see it.
100% support you in doing the Tour de Divide though.
We can see
How many miles is that? Can you see it?
it. We can see it. Yeah.
So it looks cool.
It
I don't know if I
goes-
would do
it
that
goes-
to my World Cup.
It goes from Banff to New Mexico.
Yeah, so from Canada to,
How many days?
That's the whole point. How many days can you do? The record
Yeah.
is like 13 days maybe, or 12.
That's
It's
amazing.
fast.
Yeah, I can't leave my house that long.
No?
yeah, you'd be the first, I was about to say Mexican and you were gonna get mad at me.
You're about to get canceled, right? You are about to get canceled. Our YouTube channel just got demonetized.
We were all laughing.
So how many miles is it though?
I think it's 2,400. You
Yeah.
can't quote me, but it's till 2,000.
Yeah, so if you go east to west across, it's like 3,200 miles and like 2,500 miles. But it's rough. It's rough.
It's
hard.
super rough. There's a grand depart, usually right around July, I think.
They recommend you have bear spray.
You need bear spray for.
Really?
Yeah.
I ain't riding nowhere I have to have bear spray. Period.
And you're on your own. It's not like you have support.
You,
Yeah,
it's
anytime.
unsupported. You can stop at rest stations, gas stations, and things like that's where people
Yeah.
supply themselves. But
And
yeah,
they-
you
and they
can't have outside
They
support.
camp under bridges and under trees.
You could go to a bike shop, get your bike fixed, but you got to go back to where you left the route and then start from there again. So
Oh, you have to
Yeah,
turn
it's
off
it's
your.
totally.
You gotta go
You have a
back.
spot tracker. You have a spot.
You gotta
tracker.
go back to where you came off the route and start that route at that point. You can't go to a bike shop and then cut like 10 miles
Right.
off the route. No, you gotta go back to where you started, where you left off and started off. So when you have to complete the entire route.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can have that.
Yeah.
But that would be a great
that's a
Tour to
good bike
Divide
for
bike.
that. Yeah, that's a good.
I
Bike.
just don't like suffering like that.
I just
I'm
think
good.
having a bike like that, it's like more. I feel like when people does long days like that, like weeks and stuff, they take like a very bare bones bike,
Yeah.
like not
No, they
electronic
pack.
shifting.
Oh yeah. No, you
Like
can't
now.
have stuff that'll fail.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't take like
No, you keep it simple. A very simple bike.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as analog as possible. Something that's super easy to fix on the fly.
Yeah.
You don't want anything that's proprietary to where you're like stuck with it. Like, again, being out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you have to fix your own bike. You don't want something that's complicated to do it.
Right.
That's mostly what they're carrying are spares. To,
Yeah.
To fix stuff on the. But
D Perk says drop bars MTB will be the next thing the industry will bring out.
Well, the industry needs to. It's about that time that the industry reinvents itself. So
I seen some people with
every
the
six,
geometry
every,
just
it
looks
seems like
too
every
weird.
6 months they come out with a new category in the industry for someone to make more bike sales, because of course you can't just be satisfied with your $10,000 bike that you just bought. You need to buy another one because it's a new category. And us being bike guys, we get addicted to buying bikes, and it's N+1, which means that we got to buy the latest greatest all the time. So we already spent $10,000, and you can't sell your old bike because you'll miss it as soon as you sell it. So now you're up to, how many bikes you have, Paul?
A lot.
A lot. Let's just leave it at that.
12, I think, last count. 12 that I'll admit to.
That's crazy.
Never mind, I mean, fully assembled bikes, right?
Yeah, let's not even talk about the bike.
Working bikes.
Let's not talk about frames that may or may not
So
be
I
I
upstairs.
honestly don't have that many bikes. I only have 2 bikes. I mean,
In my family, we have a lot of bikes.
How many does your wife report that you have?
2.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She reports 2 as well.
She reports 2.
Right.
But like I have the road bike, I have the mountain bike. My wife has a bike. The baby has a bike. That's
Yeah.
it. And then
So my wife has 2 bikes. She has a mountain bike and she has a road bike. Bo has 5 bikes. My son has 5 bikes.
all right, before sorry, Bill said industry is reinventing to 2018. Everything is camper again. Is he
Okay,
talking about
yeah,
his
so he's
26 his 26 wheels?
Bill's one of the guys that works here at the shop, and he swears that everything in the next 10 years is going to come in a full circle.
It's gonna go back.
And
We'll go back
he's
to
gonna be-
26-inch wheels?
He's going to be his 26-inch
26.
wheels camber is going to be the hot thing again.
All right.
So he's saving all his old stuff because he goes, everything comes in circles.
And it's gonna go back to quick release too, because it's quicker to change a flat tire.
I think he's talking fashion. He's getting fashion confused with bikes.
Listen, what I do know is that he may have borrowed somebody's bike in present company, and he really liked that
No,
bike.
he really did. He rode that new Scalpel,
Oh yeah, he did.
and he liked it. You rode the new Scalpel
I
also.
rode the new Scalpel too, and I liked it. And from that, it came that other bike that we're gonna be testing coming soon.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's cool. That one's not on embargo, so we can talk about that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, so again, Elvis doing some really good video content. Cannondale got in contact. It's so funny. Cannondale got in contact with me like I'm his agent.
Are you?
Right?
Are you?
I'm totally not his agent.
I don't
Well, he's
know.
a free man.
Jake Paul now.
It's like, he's like, Cannondale got in contact with me and was like, hey, is it cool if we reached out to Elvis and got him some bikes to test out and see if he wants her? I'm like, I'm sure he would like that.
How much did you charge for that?
Yeah, I charged that consultation was like, I cost them $1,500.
Oh, I
Yeah.
never saw it.
Just,
You
no,
know
well,
that.
you're not going to see it.
Oh, I'm not. Okay,
No,
cool,
that
cool,
was
cool.
just.
Remember that
was-
contract you signed?
Yeah. That's one of the loopholes. Sorry about that, brother.
That's okay, man. I'm glad it's public now, and I can use
Yeah.
this as Exhibit 1.
And I also am able to sign for you now.
That's okay. It's
I
just-
sign contracts for
You
you.
signed a power of attorney away as well.
Oh my goodness.
we have someone, Rafita. Saludos, Rafita, hasta Costa Rica. Donald likes when I throw my Spanish. Saludos,
I
Rafita.
do, but I just need to get my translator out real quick.
Now, Rafita is tuning in, man, from Costa Rica, and he says, how many bikes is too much?
There's no such thing as too many bikes.
Yeah,
There's
man.
no such thing. That's the way it is.
But that's the thing when you do like different, like if you're racing in different like disciplines, you do gravel, you do road, you do cross, you do XC and all this stuff. Estamos aquí conectados en el podcast. Oh,
Yeah, see?
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's how I get it done. So Elvis has a podcast that he does every
Other week too.
every other week.
Tuesday, yeah.
Okay, every other Tuesday they get on, and it's him and some 2 cool guys from South America,
Central America.
Central America.
Yeah.
It's not
All
South.
the joke.
Hold on. After the Mexican debacle, he's trying to
Yes.
go regional.
Yes.
Let me just try to go regional.
Yes.
Hold on, okay.
See, that's why we need to start making them jokes.
All right, so I can feel like a typical American
Yeah.
who doesn't know my geography, right? Because we're all stupid when it comes to this.
Logically.
South America, right?
Well, technically, I don't know
It's
if
the
it's
continent.
technically. There's only South America and North America.
Right, that's the two
Central America is not a continent.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So I was right.
You're right, yeah.
So I was thinking.
Yeah, but when people, like, if someone asks me, like, where are you from, then I'll say Central America, but it's not
The continent.
a continent, yeah.
See, these are me making mistakes like this where I actually knew what I was talking about, but maybe didn't say the right thing. It's the same reason that I got put in those special classes in elementary
Is that
school.
what happened?
Yeah, but I quickly got out of them. I got out of them pretty fast.
Yeah.
I refused to eat chalk, and I need to stop right now because I'll get in trouble. I'll get in
Bill
trouble.
said that land bridge.
That land bridge, yeah. Well, I heard the Panama Canal is like drying up. Is that true?
I don't know.
I look at you like you're supposed to.
I don't know. You looked at me like I'm Panamanian.
I don't know. All right, let's get back to bikes. There's no such thing as too many bikes. We know that.
So we got something cool going on here at the shop this weekend. I mean, we can talk about that, the demo pivots and stuff. So
Yeah. So we are a pivot dealer here at Patapsco Bicycles, and
Which is a new thing, right?
it's actually something that we got back.
Okay.
We were a pivot dealer before, and we did really well with pivot, and lack of communication with me and the rep. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
We decided to not carry pivot anymore, and now we have a new rep. And
Meat's back on the menu.
yeah, and I tell you what, man, and it's great because I'm not just saying this to say it because we sell the bikes.
Yeah.
But even when we didn't sell the bikes, I used to tell people one of my favorite bikes that I ever rode was the 429.
Okay.
It was super fast.
Yeah.
It was a downcountry bike before that category actually happened. And I realized that that's the kind of travel that I can have fun on and still go fast for me and my riding style. I'm still consider myself
What do you consider the difference between downcountry and trail?
just the amount of travel,
Okay.
geometry, a little tweak in geometry.
10 less of,
Yeah, about
Travel.
10 less. So down, I think a true downcountry bike stops at 130.
okay.
Anything above 130 is going to be trail. You know what I mean?
When does it
So,
become enduro?
Enduro, I'd say anything over 150
Okay.
is going to start to go into the enduro, but it could also be geometry. So sometimes you have bikes that don't have as much travel, but are really raked out and really long, right? And they're more suited for like going downward versus
downhill.
going up.
Okay.
So it just depends on pedal platform. It's a lot of things that go into making a bike this, that, or another. Because once you get past the 150 platform, you start to really blend into a lot of things. I mean, there's some bikes that could have, beefy components, but not a lot of travel.
we have a question from one of our followers, and he said, what do you think the camper is? I mean, I don't know if you know the
camper?
person who owns a camper.
So a camber was 100% downcountry before downcountry. The Specialized camber was a bike that was like 120, 130, or 120, 120, something like that, but it was way ahead of its time. Again, like I said, I think the industry reinvents itself and tries to sell more bikes. So these bikes existed, downcountry bikes existed before the terminology downcountry came out. They've been around for a long time. It's just now they classified it, and now they can sell off of that classification. So before the downcountry bike existed, there was the 429.
Which was one of your favorite bikes?
Favorite. I mean, it was, so I do some weird stuff when it comes to bikes. I find a bike that I really like, then I get rid of it.
I know. You have no problem selling your bike.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I get rid of it, and what I want to do now, I go searching for a better bike. Right? I already know that this bike's here.
Got it.
My goal is to find something better. Now, I found what I consider the pinnacle of what I need in a bike for myself and my riding style.
And that's the World Cup.
No.
No.
No. The World Cup is, what I'm starting to realize about the World Cup is it's not enough travel. It's super fast, point A to point B. I think I can cover enough ground to make up the difference where I have to slow down.
Okay.
Right? But I truly have to slow down for the World Cup. There's times where if you come into, like, we have super smooth trails that lead into a root garden or a rock garden. And if you don't slow down with that World Cup, you're done. Something's breaking. And I feel like where I wouldn't have had to slow down for the 429 or a true downcountry bike, I do have to hit those brakes and get light on the bike for the World Cup. It just can't handle the rough stuff like these other bikes can.
You need to use more body to handle
100%.
Okay.
100%. You can't rely on the bike. That's when skills come in way more. I feel like I'm relying on my skill set a lot more on the World Cup than I am on the bike.
Okay. So, all right, let's go back. What is your pinnacle bike then right now?
Right now, my favorite bike would be the Specialized Evo, the older one, because I haven't ridden the new one. I think the
one you got rid of.
Specialized Evo is a better bike than the old 429.
Isn't that the one you blew the shock on though?
Yeah, but that's not the bike's fault.
Okay.
That's more on the lines of the products that you put on it, because that bike comes with different components depending upon what level you get. So you can get it with SRAM at one level, and it could come with Fox at another level. It just depends on what level you get it at. So I for my weight, a SID didn't work for me.
And that had 130 on the front?
At 130 on the front. But the SID didn't work for me. The reason it didn't work for me is because I think the SID's a great fork, a better fork for someone that's lighter weight. But I think it's not as good if you're a heavier person. The reason
It all comes back to cheesesteaks, but anyway.
it does end
Because-
up coming back to cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
The
But-
SID is what I have on my World Cup, right? I like it.
It's a great platform. I'm starting to think that RockShox for a heavier rider in the cross country stuff. So what I've noticed about the RockShox compared to the Fox is the RockShox is more small bump compliant, right? It works better on the small choppy stuff. The wheels stick down better. I think the Fox works better on the bigger hits. Like if you're jumping and doing things like that, if you're an active person and you weigh a lot, which will turn a small bump into a bigger bump, the Fox is a better fork. It tends to
Which has better rebound, in your opinion?
rebound. I think they both can be dialed in with the rebound, but I think I'm running that RockShox at its max at over 210 pounds and riding it and slamming into things the way I do, because I am what I would call, like I said, I keep calling myself an aggressive cross-country rider. Slamming into things the way that I do, I've blown the RockShox cross-country forks within like 5 or 6 rides.
Yeah.
They don't last very long.
Yeah.
So
What do you think? So if you were to move from the World Cup, what would be your next bike?
probably after this week, so next week I'm flying to Phoenix. Going to meet up with the guys at Pivot. I have a friend named Brian who is the CEO at Pivot, and we're working with those guys to do some filming and do some. They're going to lend me a bike, so hopefully I get on a 429 trail there, or
It's
trail
what we
429.
have
I can't
here, right?
remember. Yeah, I can't remember which position they put the 429. They switch them every now and then. It's 429 Trail 1 model, and then it's Trail 429. But I'm going to be on the 429,
Okay.
and hopefully it's the newest version of it. So I'm hoping that I fall back in love with that bike. I really do. I think that because I mean, there's lots of reasons that I support companies. One is out of having a friend that works at that company and wanting to help him out and promote him. I'm loyal in that way. 2 is them also having a really good product, right? So it really motivates me when I have multiple factors in wanting to ride a bike, not just it being a good bike.
And you're gonna take that bike through Moab, what else?
So we're flying into Phoenix. I'm gonna ride South Mountain. We're gonna go on a ride with the guys through on South Mountain. From South Mountain, we're going to Sedona.
Okay.
We are from Sedona. We're going to go to Moab. We're probably going to stop somewhere in between, like St. George or something like that, and do a ride in St. George. But we're going to end up in Moab, from Moab to Fruita, Colorado, and ride my favorite trail of all is Horse Thief Bench.
Yeah.
It's just like, hopefully I can get some really good film footage there, and really give people from the East Coast an idea of how beautiful that place is. That'll make you want to live out west big time. So
Can we share some of that film during a podcast? That would be neat.
100%,
That'd be neat to-
100%. As a matter of fact, so it's next week. I'm probably going to be live a couple of times on Black and Tan.
Yeah.
I'll go live a handful of times just so people can see it. But yeah, I lived 10 miles from Fruita for a year and a half, just riding my bike there, and it's never got old. You know, sometimes even riding our Patapsco trails, as beautiful and nice as we have it this close to a metropolitan area, which is unheard of to have this much riding close to 2 major cities. We're 10 miles from Baltimore, and we're maybe 15, 20 miles at most from DC,
Probably 20, yeah.
and we have 200 miles of trail,
Yeah.
with, I'd probably say, 95% of that being true single track through the woods.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's like unheard of.
Yeah.
So, you know, even with that being in our backyard, I get tired and want to go some other places.
Yeah, it'll be nice. I'm
And-
just interested. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I'm gonna miss that. but-
I never got tired of going to Horse Thief. I probably ridden Horse Thief 30, 40 times, and each time I found something new, and that really made me say, dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss you. Initially, Paul we pretty much planned the trip initially.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be us, but yeah, life gets in the way
Life
sometimes.
gets in the way sometimes.
That's
yeah.
right.
I just put the info on the chat for people that wants to come out Sunday to demo some of the bikes that Pivot's selling. They're gonna have all models. Just make sure you sign up. Just posted the link on the comments so you guys can check it out if you wanna
And they're
stop by.
bringing a whole trailer of bikes, right?
Yeah, I think they're bringing a trailer. They're bringing some stuff. I think we got a food truck. We got some beer coming from one of the local breweries.
Cool.
I'm not for sure what brewery it is, but normally I support Reckless. Good friend of mine, Adam Carden, was one of the owners at Reckless, so I always try to throw something out. Like I said, I'm loyal, man.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
loyal. I stick to it. You know, I'm going to support people that support me and support my family before I go out and reach out to other businesses.
Let's talk a little bit too. You told me you and Ellis were talking about an idea of doing some podcasts from the local group rides. I like
Yeah,
that.
so we have a big group here called Velo City Riders, which has almost 500 members now.
Yeah.
It's grown like crazy. And they were in the shop doing clothing fittings. And I talked to Lyle.
You can't see it, but they're still there,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
still here. I talked to Lyle, and Lyle's one of the board members, and we were coming up with some ideas on the podcast and this and that. And he actually was the one that said, maybe you should come out to the ride and do a podcast from the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I ran it by Paul.
We need to continually challenge Elvis in his technological ability.
Yeah.
pull this stuff off.
Yeah.
Elvis,
So-
we're going to be in the middle of LA Fitness parking lot,
Yeah.
and you need to figure out how to pull this
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
We're gonna need a generator.
Right.
Well, careful, we got one.
So yeah, we want to bring the whole setup out to the parking lot of this huge group ride that they have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
There could be anywhere from, there's 500 members, so at any given time, there's 200 people there.
Wow.
On a big ride, for
On a
sure.
big ride. On a Wednesday night, there's probably 60 to 80 people, I would say.
It's more than that. It's
60
gotta be
to
more
80.
than that. It's gotta be more than that. It's over 100 every Wednesday. Mondays and Wednesdays are big.
Over 100?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the A group now, when we come in, remember when we used to do the A group initially? We would come back and there would be 5 people.
Yeah.
There's 30 people that come back from the A ride now.
All right.
That's just the A ride. So there's another 30, 40, and I mean, it's a lot of people at this big. Thank goodness they go off in waves and go different directions, because it would piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a series of podcasts called From the Parking Lot.
From the lot.
From the lot. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna check out people's fits, their bikes, and what they're riding, and what motivated them to get into cycling and things like that. And I think we have some pretty crazy groups that could be.
There's some good characters in there.
There's some characters, man. There's some characters. I like to believe that we have more characters in our group than in our area than any other place I've visited, by far.
Yeah, yeah.
By far. Maybe Richmond with those guys, Andre and them guys down in Richmond. They may have some pretty good characters.
There's probably some characters down
Yeah.
at Bryant Park too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we got it covered for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So we'll be winded up Wednesday.
Wind it up Wednesday.
We have
That's
Oh.
down near Bowie.
that's down in PG County in Baltimore, Washington area. We have Velo City. We have Craig Poole with his mountain bike.
That's right.
With his mountain bike group that goes off on Wednesdays. These are all just Wednesday rides. I think we have like a handful of others that are local. I think I can guarantee you there's something up north in Baltimore around the Hunt Valley area. There's a couple of them that probably go off on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
up
there is
too.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably a Velocino ride or something like that.
It's I'm trying to think, the Wagner group, Wagner Roofing race guys do that Wednesday.
What
ride.
about,
I don't know what the ride is called.
What day does the ride that goes out of Glenelg? What day is Glenelg?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's another good
All right,
group.
all right.
And it's so funny that I think we can give our audience an idea of how different each one of these clubs are too.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Right? Just because they cover all ends of every end of the spectrum, right? From here to here, it's covered, and every character in the middle.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so speaking of group rides, went out with Velo. Velo's the big group. Went out with them on Wednesday,
This past Wednesday.
this past Wednesday. And a little bit of controversy on the ride, man, from me.
Uh-oh.
And I feel like I want to go ahead and say it, because I mean, I want people to be able to come up and ride with the faster group. I mean, I wanted to ride with the faster group, and I worked hard to get so I can ride with the faster group. But what happens when you have an A and
I feel
B
like you're
ride?
setting me up here.
No. I mean, it's not. It's something I want your honest opinions on.
I feel like I'm being set up.
No, I
here,
want your
but-
honest opinions on it, because it's something that was bothering me a little bit. So they have their A and B group. They call it the ABs go off, the BCs go off, the CDs go off, right? These are all different groups. But the problem is the confusion between A and B, right? They don't just have A's go, wait, and then B's go, right? They'll have AB, and then they'll have BC. And there's like a lot of
Still
people.
feel like I'm being set up. Go ahead.
No, a lot of people just don't know where they are in these groups, right? But people always want to be in the faster group, right? That's what we want to do. And when you're
I'm
especially
gonna quote Adam Driscoll on a West Side World ride from the parking lot up at Catonsville, and he says, "Look, we need an A group and we need a B group. Who wants to be in the B group?" And nobody raised their hand. And he says, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out on Ridge." And he does.
100%. Well, the problem with that is so Wednesday goes off, and we go up a slightly new route We go straight through the light. We don't make that right and go that long way. We go straight through the light and we climb up the hill to the
Paul
circle.
never knows the route, ever.
Yeah.
Paul,
So we climb
Paul
straight
never
up.
knows the route.
So we climb
Because we
straight
call
up.
that a solo ride.
Right. Well, we climb straight up to the circle, and it's a slight climb coming up. I pin it on the climb, on the front.
Uh-oh.
And my whole goal was to break the ride up, right? I wanted to get the people that, again, sorted out at a certain time.
Right. You got in trouble for this.
No, I didn't get in trouble.
Okay.
I didn't get in trouble.
Okay.
Because it's the A ride. In my head, that's what we're supposed to do. You're going on an A ride to go hard.
Yeah.
Right? An A ride to me is a drop ride. A B ride is a non-drop,
It's a non-drop ride.
Right?
I agree. I agree.
So I pin it on the climb, and I get to the flat.
This is before the cheesesteak.
Way before the cheesesteak.
Okay, all right.
This is last week. So we get to the circle, and so I pin it on the climb. Someone takes over at the top of the climb. We get to the circle, which is a little ways down, and we all turn the circle as a group, and it's a false flat for about 2 miles. I attack again immediately. So we're not even, I swear to you, we're not even 3 miles into the ride. I attack immediately, and I go off the front, and we're going.
I'll wait for it.
No one goes with me.
I'm waiting for it. Go ahead.
There's nothing to it. I'm just telling you.
Attacking
there's
at what mileage you think
like
you would?
3 miles in, I'm gone. I'm trying to separate the group. I don't want the people that shouldn't be there, because to be honest with you, it's dangerous, right? Because when you have people that are going so hard that have been training on Zwift, that are strong, but have no bike handling skills and are honestly just in the way and messing the flow of everything up because they don't know how to pull, they don't know how to do this. There's a lot of things that they don't know. And they honestly get in the way, crossing your wheels constantly, things like that.
Right.
And you have to go around them to close gaps. You're constantly closing gaps. It turned my ride into one of the hardest rides that I've done.
Because you're out there by yourself.
I was closing gaps constantly.
Okay.
So I never stood up to sprint one time, and I think my max wattage was like 1,100 watts sitting, right? Like just closing a gap, I had to hit that.
So wait a second. You break off at 3 miles and nobody goes with you.
No one goes with me.
You're the A group now.
Well, I'm like maybe.
How did that feel?
I sat up and said, all right, well, let me get some Conrads in arms, right?
You sat up and you waited for
I
people.
waited for them.
Whoa. Did anybody yell at you, "Don't wait for me"?
No, that's what I do with you. There's a big difference between us in a group ride and me and you riding together. And you ride up a hill, you turn around, come back and get me. You ride up the hill, you turn around, come back and get me.
But that's not going to happen anymore because we're going to weigh the same.
Right. Again, or if we're doing our A ride,
Yeah.
and the A ride's supposed to be a non-drop, it's supposed to be a drop non-weight ride,
Yeah.
and everybody's waiting for someone. They're messing the ride up for the person that had the narrative
Got it.
that we were going to be. It was a drop ride. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what I asked Jay Murphy, right? Jay was slowing the ride down, and I'm like,
Throw his name out there.
yeah, I threw it out there. It's all right. Jay's my boy.
No mercy.
We've ridden together for 30 years. I can throw his name out. He knows I love him. It's no big deal. So he was slowing the ride down to let people catch up, and I went by him and was like, "What are we doing? Isn't this the A ride? Let's go." But there's so many traffic lights there that you're not getting away. You're just not. As soon as you get a break or you get away from the people that aren't strong enough to actually hold on,
They catch
They
up.
catch you at the light. And the problem is they clip in and they want to go around you at the light. And they try to get on the front wheels, and they all get shed after a while.
Yeah.
And now you got to go around them and close the gaps. And that's what kept happening. And it was like, as I'm going around them, or as they were coming around me at lights or whatever, they were trying to get in and get the wheel in front of me. They're crossing my front wheel, and it got really sketchy a handful of times.
How big was the group?
It was about 30 people
Oh, wow.
that started off in the A group. AB. That's too many people. And it shedded, when we were done, we dropped about half of them. So it was like 15 people that finished with us. With about 4 people that did work, right? So if you, my thing is with those big groups, I think the best way to do it is to separate the A's, give them a space, give them a time difference, then let the B's go out. Or
So you're suggesting that some of those A, B riders thought they were actually a B rider.
no, I think everybody in their head thought that they were A riders.
Right.
But realistically, a lot of them were B riders that were strong enough to hold a draft,
Yes.
but not strong enough to do any
Some
work.
people, when they get involved in that ride, they say, I want to go off with like 4 or 5 people because I think that's safe. And I'm gonna make sure that, or this hypothetical person is going to make sure that those 4 or 5 guys aren't gonna worry about traffic lights because we're gonna separate at the beginning.
That's what I would have hoped, right? Like,
But nobody went with you.
no one went with me.
What's the average speed on the A ride?
21.
How much?
Here's
how much
what I say.
elevation?
There's some. It's not a lot of elevation at all, but it's a lot of corners and lots of lights.
Yeah.
So if that were any other, there was an. Yeah. So no. That's not at Velo. When you do Wind It Up Wednesday, it's 24 miles an hour average.
Paul and I have done 24 at Vela.
Have you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done 24. I've done 22 at Velo.
24 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they Wind It Up Wednesday down in PG County for sure.
There was a guy once that was Paul, me, and another guy. I'm not gonna name him. But he turned because Paul Hines and I were riding together, and I don't have the route, and Paul didn't have the route. And the guy turned to us. He said, "I realize the only reason I'm with you guys is because I have the route." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's true."
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because
I've been that guy a couple times. But it's like all right. So, we have.
What do you suggest do differently? What would
I
you do
think that
differently?
they should actually say.
You
all
should
right,
have some people admit that they're actually B riders.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You should say.
I think you just say there's an A+ ride.
No, I think. Yeah, but that still confuses people.
You're still an A, but not a plus.
No, that confuses people. Again, there should be A, B, C, D. And you should say the A is a drop ride. If you can't go with those guys,
You better have the route.
well, not just that. If you can't go with them and not interfere with what's going on,
Right.
you need to stay on the back. Do not get in front and try to get into the mix because all you're doing is causing issues. Like that should be said ahead of time. If you can't go and participate in this ride and not be in the way, then stay on the back. As you get dropped, because you will get dropped at that point, you go back to the B's, which are coming up.
Instead
how
of
far-
catching up at the light.
Yeah.
How far is the A from the B? Because what you can say it is also, this is just make one ride. I mean, it's not like they're gonna go full gas. At some point,
in 30 miles, in my experience, the guys who finished first in the 30 miles sometimes will be 7 to 8 minutes ahead of the next guys who finish.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on, like, again, you can get lucky and catch a light.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone said
Yeah.
on the chat, Joseph said, a ride is a drop ride.
A ride
Yeah.
is a drop.
Every ride that if I went out of state,
Right.
I went to Texas and someone said, "Hey, I'm doing the A ride."
That's a drop.
I'm gonna make sure I have the route,
Right.
right?
That's
and I'm
funny.
not gonna feel bad if I get dropped.
I did a ride the other day, a gravel ride, Velopix in Leesburg, and the A ride was called Business Ride. Mm-hmm. So they were like, "Who's doing the business ride?" And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm going with the business." And it was just like,
Hammer.
they weren't waiting for you.
No.
right? That's why they call it. If you're gonna join us, is because you're gonna keep up. If not,
Right.
go with the.
It's all about setting expectations, right? So again, someone comes in from the other side of town and they go and they think, "Oh, I'm going to do this A ride. It's going to be a hard ride." and they get someone slowing the ride down saying, hey, wait for this person, wait for
Maybe
that
that's the
person.
solution. We just call it the business ride. There's the business ride, then there's the AB ride.
I don't know what the solution is. I just think it's a dangerous combination when you're letting people that aren't ready to go that fast and don't have the skill set or have not been riding that long.
I just feel like at the beginning of the ride, they should say, hey guys, we have some situations in the past. We're riding fast. If you don't have the experience of riding fast and, following the wheel, then kind of like stay in the back.
Right.
Here's-
And another thing is, it's a club.
Yes.
Right.
Club ride, yeah.
It's a
They're
club.
trying to bring more people in instead of like
It's a
losing
club,
people.
not a race team.
Yeah.
Right? So, you're going to have people that, like I said, everybody aspires to be faster and stronger than they were.
Even in that club, they want to say, I finished with the A group.
100%.
Some
100%.
people, not everybody, but some people.
No, I mean, there's people that truly look at it like a club, and I'm just going out and getting my exercise, and I
Can
want to do
Strava see if you were on the A group?
Strava. I mean, no, because again, I'm guilty of it. Everybody on this podcast that's gone fast on a fast group ride has been guilty of it. There's been group rides that I'm just another jersey in it. But the difference between what I do, like I can go down to Haynes Point and I get popped off at Haynes Point, but I'm never messing with the front group. I'm not going to get up to the front and cause mayhem and slow it down and cause disorganized like chaos, right? I stay on the back because I kind of know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I stay on the back and stay out of their way
Yeah.
and let them do their thing, and I hold on as long as I can hold on.
Joseph said, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Joseph said, Donald, it will never change. It's been hearing this argument for 35 years.
Yeah.
No,
My strategy, what I did there, is in theory, there are probably a few guys who can go fast for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 miles, and then they fade off. Like
Right.
do you know what I'm saying?
No, there is. There's always gonna be that
people
guy.
always would say, well, he comes warmed up to the ride. He has no warm up. Well, the reason is, I want to ride with the 5 guys who can go fast for the 30 miles, not
Right.
just the first 4. And
Right.
that's why sometimes I may or not have stretched out the group in the first couple.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Again, if I'm not able to keep up, you've popped me off the rides before, right? And I finished in the second group.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But that's what I'm looking. That's what I've come there knowing what the party was about, right?
Yeah.
I already know that this is going to be a hard ride. I came here on Monday or Wednesday to do a hard ride.
Right. But there are guys in that group that was specifically we're talking about who have made their way up to being able to stay in those top 5 to 7, and
A lot of people have.
they actually, it's crazy to sound, they appreciate that they've been pushed. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They've said it to me.
That's-
They're like,
but that's why
Paul, why don't you come? Because but
that's why
I'm only doing my workout. Like that's what I would do.
Right.
which is
I want to
whatever.
be pushed. I want to be popped. I don't mind getting popped off the ride. That's fine. But what bothers me and what I do mind is when it gets dangerous.
Yes.
Right. Like if I just can't hold on, I pull out to the side. I'm out of the group. I fade back, and that's the last you see of me. Right. I'm not gonna stay in the middle and
Unless
just.
there's an oil truck going down the road and you're
And then I'll jump on
drafting
that.
it,
I'm
yeah.
jumping on that oil truck, and I'm back in it, baby. I'm back in it. But that's kind of where I am with group rides right now. It's like they're so big, and I don't have an answer to the chaos. Right? I don't know how they're going to control the chaotics of how strong people are nowadays, because there are truly some strong people that just don't know how to ride bikes. I mean, Zwift has made people monsters over the winter, but they don't know how to ride bikes. And it sounds crazy that you can be fast and still not know how to ride a bike.
But there's a way to get rid of that too.
It's tough. It's
I
tough.
think it happens on every ride, group ride, because you're always going to have people at different levels. And if there is no clear communication, which I have the experience with, that like you show up and there is, first of all, there's not one person that they have assigned that it's kind of like guide if there's a
Well-
B group or a C group
Well, we
or
have
A group.
We do have a ride here on Fridays from our shop. It's a ride that I developed. The A's are a non-stop, complete drop ride. I want it to be hard. I want guys to come back and say, wow, that was hard. That was cool. Then the B ride, which leaves 5 minutes after the A's,
Right.
I pace them. So I actually lead the B ride, and I pace it at 18 miles an hour. And I'm looking at my average, and I don't let it go over 18.
Yeah.
And as soon as someone comes around me, I tell them, no, you can't do that. If you're gonna go off the front, but don't come back.
Right.
Right? And that way, people that are driving across town and they want to do my B ride, they know it's going to be the ride that they signed up for.
Yeah, that's
Right?
fair, that's fair.
Their
But
A
that's,
ride,
I mean, that goes back to like communication. And you said it, like the day that we did it together, you said it
Yeah.
at the beginning. Like, no one's gonna pass me. We're just gonna stay at the average that we set
Yeah.
on the group, and that's it.
yeah. And it
But if
worked
you
out.
have that, like that's what you're expecting on the ride.
Right. It works out because people, there's even at that pace, it was hard for some people, but everybody stayed together.
Right.
I kept it at the higher end of that. So I say 17, 18. I keep it right at 18. I think we finished the ride at 18.1. Right? So I'll stay out in the wind and I'll just keep the average at 18. And it worked out perfect. I'm sure there was someone that wishes it was 17, and if they would have dropped back, then we would have lowered the pace until it was 17, until everybody could hold on.
I like how you're thinking. At our next gravel ride, I'm gonna keep the average pace at 18.1 as well.
Yeah, but see, again, you have to announce that ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we don't go.
So we don't go. That's right. That's right. It's all about communication. I bet you, I think we've done the long course at almost 17 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a lot more road.
Yeah.
Once we got on that highway, we were able to really put it down. I think we were like 25, 26 miles an hour for a while.
I was spinning my,
Yeah, we all
my
were.
gravel ride. I was like, I'm out of gear.
All right, so it's bike talk with us.
The race is still gonna happen.
The race is still going to happen.
I think we should put out a poll and let people comment on the parameters that were outlined about the weight issue. Whether
Yeah.
he needs to get down to 190 and I need to carry any weight in which I don't weigh 190 on my back.
But that's what we said. My goal was 190, but if I don't get to 190, you will wear whatever weight to bring it up to what I am at that time.
Is that what I
Which,
said?
that's what I think you said. Again,
All right.
again, don't quote me because I know we can just go back in the.
So your strategy is
And
make
YouTube.
cheesesteaks as I can.
No,
so
that was just a cheat day today.
Okay.
I'm going back because listen, I also want to live.
When are we gonna do this? After you get back? from
Let's
the trip?
get back when I get back from the trip. Let's see what's up. I would like to do it as soon as I get back from the trip because I'll have.
You want the elevation.
I'll
gear.
have
He's gonna have those lungs. He's gonna have those lungs.
I'll have 5 or 6 days at elevation. and I think that's a good idea.
I'll have 7 days at elevation.
Paul is gonna
bro.
be
I'm
in
down.
the beach.
Right? But that'll also be 5. That would also be 7 days of pretty hard ride.
Okay. All right.
Jet
So,
lag too.
yeah,
right?
I
Isn't
don't
it like
know.
3 hours or something?
Yeah, I don't really. Jet lag doesn't bother me as much as just heavy riding.
He doesn't sleep. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as jet
Yeah.
lag.
Yeah, you only get jet lag when
When
you
you
sleep.
sleep. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Black
Definitely.
and tan, 0.0075% fat.
Yeah, man. Oh, we have our black and tan jerseys coming.
Ooh, and they look
You
sharp.
guys have
Yeah.
a picture that we can show right
Can
now,
you?
or no?
No, because it's not. We
not
made some
finalized.
revisions. Yeah, we
Alright.
made some revisions.
We can describe it a little bit,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So black, tan, black,
Yeah, it has a tire that goes across the chest here. On the top, it says black and tan. Across the back, it says black and tan. The tire is what we revised. On the road jersey, he had a mountain bike tire, and I was like, "That I want a road tire on the road jersey." We're doing the same thing on with a mountain jersey where we have the mountain tire, but on the road jersey, I want a road
it
tire.
looks sharp. It looks
Yeah,
sharp.
and underneath the tire, it says .0075. And on the back, it has Patapsco on the center pocket, really big. It has Patapsco bicycles, and yeah, it's gonna look really cool.
And people will be able to order direct from,
Hill Killer.
yeah.
You'll be able to go on the Hill Killer site, order it direct from Hill Killer, and
Is it on the website or not yet?
it is not on the website yet,
Okay.
but it'll be on there once it's live. We'll let everybody know
We're
once
only
it's
a few
live.
weeks away, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is remind everybody that we're going to be a nonprofit, right? So any proceeds that we gain from YouTube, from merch or anything like that, it's all going to go towards youth cycling. So our goal is to be able to write a big check to BYC, to NICA, to all these clubs and organizations that are supporting youth cycling in our local area.
I promise you, viewer, not one dime spent on a cheesesteak. I promise you.
No, it won't be. It won't be.
Or bike park?
Promise. Or bike parts, right. So that's our goal, man. That's what we really want to do. I think that's us giving back. I mean, I've taken a lot from this sport. I've taken a lot from cycling. It's time for me to give it back a little bit. So that's my contribution. 37 episodes in.
37.
Thanks for joining us.
This is my contribution.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, guys. Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channels. We put both of the channels at the bottom of the bio of the video, so make sure you do that. If you are watching us on Facebook or on Instagram, just make sure you go to YouTube, Black and Tan, and also DMV MTV. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Come see us at the shop on Sunday for a pivot ride.
That's right.
Pivot demo, we also have that on the Patasco Bicycle Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to test out one of the pivots, make sure you follow the link, subscribe for what model, register for what model you want to
That's right.
use,
Get on that 429.
Yeah.
You won't regret it, I promise you.
and let us know what you think. All right, have a good night, guys.
Guys,
Peace and love.
later.